Good morning, Hove Park School Year 10. It's great to be talking to you this morning. My name is Paul Young. I'm the CEO of Off the Fence and also the founder. And my brief this morning is just to give you a few minutes on how we started as a charity in Brighton Hove. I was born in Brighton Hove. This is my hometown and I'm very, very much behind this. I was brought up in a family that was a bit dysfunctional. There was a lot of issues going on. Dad was an alcoholic and the person who brought me up was my granddad, and he threw himself under the fast train because he came back from the First World War, never got over the fact that 270 of them went out and only 17 returned. So my family was very dysfunctional and I took so much out of this city and took so many different things and problems with me. But one day, set of different circumstances, I found myself on a Christian ship, and I was always going to join the army, and the army said, Paul, you've got to get out of Brighton, too much trouble. There's a ship coming down to Shoreham Harbour. And I went down, and this ship was a Christian ship, 300 Christians, and there was me. And I said I didn't want to work with the Christians, so I worked in the engine room for 2 years with 40 different countries, giving relief and aid right across them countries. But I always thought, once just off of Africa, when I became a Christian, one thing was always on my mind. I wanted to go back to Brighton to put something back to the city that I took so much out of. Well, I became a Christian just off Africa, as I said, and then I met this young lady from Australia. We went to Australia, we lived over in Australia, but always that thinking, want to get back to Brighton. Came back to Brighton, had no education, so I went to Bible college, and then I was offered a job at a local church who said, come along and help us with our work here. And there was a great big meeting within Brighton Hove held between the council, between the churches and all the different other groups. And they said there's great big holes in the net, especially with homelessness. There's so many people that are suffering on our streets. And the man that was taking that conference said, isn't it time we get off the fence and do something about the needs of our city? And the fellow that I was working for got up and said, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. And he said, Paul will do it. Paul will start a work amongst the homeless. I didn't know I was going to do it, but he said I was. And I started a tiny little work. It was just me and one other fella. Then it went year 2 to 4 of us, then 6 of us. Then year 3 there was 70 of us. And it got to a stage where we could become our own charity. We become our own charity. First year was £3,000 budget. Well, since then we've seen over 3.7 million come in. Every year we see about 500,000 more come in. We've got 22 staff. We do work amongst the schools. We do work amongst women at risk. We do work amongst homelessness. We have a big day centre. We do lots of things. We've just been the Mayor's charity for last year, and it's just amazing if I could be you, somebody with no qualifications, ADHD up to the eyeballs, dysfunctional family. It's incredible the way that each and every one of you, if you put your mind to it, can impact your community in an incredible way. That is the story of Off the Fence. It's grown and developed and growing all the time, but thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to our story. That's how we started in a nutshell, and I hope it encourages you to make an impact in your own society. Thank you. Was that all right, Lisa?